What's going on, guys? Chandler's Legacy Farm here. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of buck knives that I picked up at a pawn shop. So I was down in Brown, Piedmont, Missouri, down south here in southern Missouri, and I happened to stumble across, I went into Rick's Pawn Shop down there. Now, Rick's Pawn Shop's been established down there at Piedmont for a long time. I've done a lot of business with them. I bought firearms there. I bought handguns there. And so when I walk in the door, they know me. You know what I'm saying? Always support your local businesses. If you can support your local businesses because they're just so handy to be there. You know what I mean? It's just nice to be able to go to a local business and do things and have that one-on-one personal experience with someone where they get to know you because you're in there once a month or once a week, you know. So it's always good to support local business. So I went in there and I spied this in the knife case. This is just a buck 119. It's a 2000 model, I think. No. Yes. I think it's a 2000. It's a 2020 model, if I remember right. I looked it up because buck knives, you can look them up and because they all have they're a little symbol on them, and you can look up and see. I'm not sure this was a 2020 model. Yeah, it's a 2020 model. So this knife's only going on 5 years old. It's got some scratches in the blade, and it was butter knife dull. Whoever owned this knife before me, they dulled it, and then I guess they didn't have the know-how or the ability to sharpen it back up, and maybe that's why they traded it in, sold it, whatever they did. But either way, this knife was on the shelf, used buck 119. Sheath is in great shape, or I mean, it's got some little nicks and scratches on the sheath here and there, but who gives a shit, right? So it gives it character, So anyway, they had this thing for $55 is what they were asking. It was $55 for it. Okay. So I thought, I'll see if they'll take a little less for it. Why not? It's a pawn shop, right? This is a used knife. We'll see what they'll take for it. And they know me, right? So I'm standing there with my wife's uncle. My wife's uncle pulls this out of his pocket. Okay. This is a 2009 model, buck 371 stockman, right? And it was pretty rough. He had been pretty hard on it, so I had to sharpen it up too. But either way, that's what you're looking at there. Well, he pulls this out of his pocket, and he said, "Why don't you just trade him this for this?" And I said, "Well, if you're just wanting to give a knife away, I'll take this, and then I'll see what he'll take for this, and then we'll see what happens." Right? I was either going to barter this knife for this one, or just buy the knife, one or the other. Right? So when I got up to the counter, I said, "Hey, what do you take for this used buck knife?" And he looked at it and he's like, "Well, the price is $55." And I said, "I'll give you 40 for it." I said, "I'll give you 40 bucks for it." He said, 40 bucks plus tax. Well, plus tax, it ended up being $45. So I got this buck 119 that's 5 years old. The only thing that was wrong with it is a few scratches and dings. It doesn't have any nicks in the blade or anything. The blade was in great shape. It was just dull. So I sharpened it up, but still not quite perfect, but it's close. And anyway, I picked that up for 40 bucks plus tax, so it was $45. 45 bucks. And I told my wife's uncle, I said, "You can have this one back." I said, I don't need the knife. And he said, "I just keep it, put it in your collection." I said, "Great, fine with me. I love putting knives in my collection, right? Especially free knives." And this came from my wife's uncle, and it was actually came from someone else. It was actually kind of sort of gifted to him from someone else, sort of, you could say. So it's kind of just one of these that's been passed around. And it had some serious nicks in the blade, but I worked on it a little bit. Now, I sharpened both of these knives, this buck 119 and this little buck stockman. I sharpened both of these on my work sharp. This is the work sharp. I can't remember what the hell they call it. Field sharpener, pocket field, or no, this is the field sharpener, I think is what they call it. But either way, this will be in the Amazon description link down below, or my Amazon affiliate links in the description box down below. This will be in there, and so will both of these blades, buck 119 and this buck, what is it, what did I say it was? 371, the buck 371 stockman. I'll put all three of these in the Amazon affiliate links down below. But I sharpened both of these with this. If you look at this close, I have sharpened a lot of knives on this thing. I mean, it's in rough shape. It's dirty. It's nasty. It has filings all over it. I've sharpened a lot of things on this little sharpener. It has got your strop here. It has two different grits of ceramic here. It's got a little bit of ceramic here, and you have got a rough side and a smoother side, and then you go through your grits of your ceramic, and then you got your strop up here. Great sharpener. It's got a 20-degree guide right here, so you just lay your knife blade on it and go with it, you know. And then here, it's got a guide here for your honing on your ceramic. So these are great, guys. If you haven't picked one of these up yet, you owe yourself. I mean, you should just pick one up. They're great. They are great. You can throw them in your backpack. You can throw them in a pack for the weekend, you know, and you can get something done with these. You can for sure put a serviceable edge on something. It may not be a complete hair popping sharp, but you can put an edge back on something. This buck 119 right here, right in the belly, from here to here, right between my fingers there, that section of the blade was just dull as a damn butter knife. I mean dull. This blade right here, it had some chunks out of it right through here. Right there in the belly, right there. There were some chunks out of it, and I was able to get those chunks out too. With this little sharpener, they're fantastic. They really are. Like I said, now I haven't got these knives screaming sharp. They're not. Let me see. I'm gonna find something to cut. But I mean, they're pretty good shape. I mean, that's cutting pretty damn good. So this one here might need a little bit more work, but they're both pretty damn good shape. Let's see here. We'll whittle on some wood here. But you can see, I mean, it's doing a fine job. I mean, both of these are doing a good job. They're in good shape. I mean, these little sharpeners are just absolutely awesome. I love them. I really like my little sharpener. That's for sure. Let me get all this off the table. So anyway, guys, that's it. I just wanted to tell my pawn shop story on my two new buck knives. I got this shit all over me. So just wanted to tell that story. Oh, I wipe the blades off a little bit here before I show them to you again. There we go. My two buck knives came from pawn shop. Got a steal on them. Literally got a deal on them. Because these are like 75 bucks on Amazon. Somewhere around there, about 75 bucks. And that's about the going rate for anywhere you find them. So finding a used one for 40 bucks, that was a damn good deal. And then this one being free, how can you go wrong there? These are about 30 bucks is what these little stockmans will cost you on Amazon. They're about 30 bucks. But they're beautiful little knives. So anyway, that's it, guys. Look for these in the Amazon affiliate link down below. If you like what I've been doing, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we are out of here. Let me see here. I got a different remote, and it's not been working the best. So anyway, guys, we're out of here. We will see ya.